Hi viewers, this is Dr. Gunamani Jana and you are watching video with me on machine learning. Before we discuss about this machine learning, let us have some idea about what is this artificial intelligence and how the machine learning came out of that one and how they are related. As you know, this artificial intelligence, it is just a simulation of human intelligence process by machines, and here machine means we mean the computer systems, and AI or the artificial intelligence, it is the ability of a machine to display human like capabilities such as the reasoning, learning, planning and creativity. So these are the natural things which is done by the human being. Now we want the machine or the computer has to do all the things, and this artificial intelligence, it involves making the machine as much capable so that it can perform the tasks that typically require human intelligence. So we can go for some example like online shopping and advertising, web search, digital personal assistants, machine translations, smart homes, cities and infrastructures, all the things. Similarly, cars, automated cars, the cyber security and the fighting disinformation, health and transportation. So all the things where now we are using this artificial intelligence. Now let us have the idea about this machine learning. It develops algorithm by learning the hidden patterns of the data sets, used it to make predictions on new similar type of data without being explicitly programmed for each. What is the meaning of this thing? See, we in the traditional program solving, we provide the data, we provide the program and some functions, and it is solved by the machines. But what we want to do, we provide the input and we provide the output also to the model, and the model has to develop this algorithm for that, or this program for that one, or function for that one. And this machine learning, it is used in many different applications like image processing, speech recognitions, natural language processing, recommendation systems, fraud detections, portfolio optimization, automated tasks and so on. And these machine learning models are also used to power autonomous vehicles, drones, robots, and making them more intelligent and adaptable to the changing environment. And machine learning uses data driven approach, and it is typically trained on historical data and then used to make predictions on new data. Then this machine learning can find patterns and insight in large data sets that is difficult for human beings to discover. It's clear. So let us go to the background, and here we will try to understand this concept. As you know, a program is a set of instructions that is used to solve problem. Clear? So this program, again it is consisting a number of functions, and a function or a subroutine, it is again a sequence of program instruction that performs a specific task, and it is packaged in one unit. The programmer converts the problem solutions into instructions, runs these instructions on the computer. When we open a program, the operating system allocates a space as it is needed on the memory to this program. This space will contain both the data structure that keeps every information about the program for as long as it is running. Next, the operating system puts the instruction to the program as well as the data into that space. So this is how the traditional program runs. Now, what is loaded into the memory, it is not the actual program, but it is an instance of this program which has transformed into an executable unit. So this program, we call it as a process. Okay. Now a function or subroutine, it is a sequence of program instructions that performs a specific task packaged as a unit. It's clear. This is the things we understand. In conventional programming, We take input data, write a functions and provide to the model or the system, and after successful executions it provides the output. It's clear? But in the machine learning, we provide the labeled input data and the output to the model and wants to create a function. That is the only difference we see it here. It's clear? Means instead of writing the function, we train the machine or the computer to generate that based on the input and the output. So this concept, it has given the birth of the technology called the machine learning, and I welcome you to this world of machine learning. Here the systems can learn from data, identify the patterns and make decisions with minimal human interventions. These are the things. If you see the flow chart, first of all, the generation or collection of labeled data means a name would be there, then cleaning of this data, then we select some algorithm and provide the data. The data is divided the test data, training data and validation test set also. Then we go for the pre-processing of the data, then we select the features, scale features, then we go for the training here, then find the final model again with the test data. So these things are repeated to some extent. Refine model, optimize the hyperparameters, etc. Then once it is final, then we can go for prediction of this new data. So this is the concept what actually happens in our machine learning. So in our presentations, this is the outline. What is the main idea in this machine learning algorithm? What is the types of machine learning algorithm like supervised, unsupervised, reinforced, and the supervised regression and classification, unsupervised the clusters and other things, then reinforce the continuous and categorical and some applications. These are things we are going to cover. Coming the main idea, the diagram speaks completely about the machine learning. See here, this is a model which you want to train. We provide the labeled data. So that means this one is a hexagon, this is a triangle, this is a square. So this is the labeled data I provided here, and you train the model. Then you provide some test data and we want to know what is this one and what is that one. So this is called the prediction, and after this process it tells this is a square and this is a triangle. It's a very clarity. That means instead of writing a program to identify this is hexagon, this is pentagon, this is octagon, so we train a model, we provide the input and you provide the output, and finally we predict, right? Then about the types of machine learning algorithm. The machine learning algorithms can be broadly classified into three types. One is the supervised learning algorithm, second one is the unsupervised learning algorithm, and third one is the reinforced learning algorithm. You can see here the picture from where you can clearly understand what exactly this machine learning is. Now coming to the first category, the supervised learning, you see a teacher teaching in a classroom to the students. So under the supervision only the student is getting trained. Here unsupervised, the students using all the resources, books, internet, etc., and reading herself or himself, trying to understand. Then coming to the reinforced learning, here you see the agent, here some action and some feedback and also the rewards. Based on that it learns. This is the reinforcement type of learning. It's clear. Now let us come to our things like here. Now we focus on the supervised learning first. The supervised learning model are trained using the labeled data. Once the training and the processing are done, the model is tested by providing a sample test data to check whether it predicts correct or not. Okay? The goal of supervised learning is to map input data with the output data. Here the supervised learning is based on the supervision or external teacher, and it is the same as when a student is learning things in the teacher supervision. For example, the applications, the supervised learning is the spam filtering in our email. Then supervised learning can be divided into further two categories. One is the regression, second one is the classification. So, the example of some of the regression are simple linear regression, regression tree, non-linear regressions, Bayesian regressions, polynomial regressions. These are the things we will study in details. Then coming to the regression in details, as you understand, the regression, it is a type of supervised learning. The algorithm learns to predict continuous values based on input features, and the output levels in regressions are continuous values such as stock price, housing price. Okay, two things are there. One is the input, what we are putting in the x-axis, what is the output we are expecting in the y-axis. Okay, or what we say, the independent variable in the x-axis and the dependent variable in the y-axis. Clear? And the different regressions algorithms in machine learning are linear regression, polynomial regressions, ridge regressions, decision tree regression, random forest regressions, support vector regressions, etc. These are the regressions. Then coming to the classifications, classification is a type of supervised learning where the algorithm learns to assign input data to a specific category or class based on the input features. And the output levels in classifications are discrete values, and the classification algorithms can be binary where the output is one of the two possible classes or multi-classes, where the output can be one of several classes in case of multi-classes. Clear? And the different classifications algorithms in machine learning are logistic regression, naive Bayes, then decision tree, support vector machine, k nearest neighbor or KNN, etc. It's clear? Then we are going to the algorithm. The unsupervised models can be trained using the unlabeled data sets that is not classified or nor categorized also, and the algorithm needs to act on that data without any supervision. In unsupervised learning, the model does not have a predefined output also, and it tries to find useful insights from the huge amount of data. Unsupervised learning are of two types. One is the clustering, second one is the dimensional reduction or the dimensionality reductions. The example of unsupervised learning are k-mean clustering, a priori algorithm, eclat, etc. Now, let us have some idea about what is this clustering. Clustering algorithm groups similar data points together based on their characteristics. The goal is to identify groups or clusters of data points that are similar to each other while being distinct from other groups. Some popular clustering algorithms are k-mean, hierarchical clusterings, and DB-scan. Then the dimensionality reduction. This algorithm reduces the number of input variables in a data set while preserving as much of the original information as possible. This is useful for reducing the complexity of a data set and making it easier to visualize and analyze. Some popular dimensionality reductions algorithms include PCA or the principal component analysis, and TSNE and the autoencoders. Then it comes the reinforcement learning. In reinforcement learning, an agent interacts with its environment by producing actions and learn with the help of feedback. The feedback is given to the agent in the form of rewards, such as each good actions he gets a positive reward, and for each bad actions he gets a negative rewards. So there is no supervision provided to the agent. The Q-learning algorithm is used in the reinforcement learning. In reinforcement learning, the agent learns automatically using feedbacks without any labeled data, unlike the supervised learning. Since there is no labeled data, so the agent is bound to learn by its experience only. It's clear? And the reinforcement learning solves a specific type of problem where decision making is sequential and the goal is long term, such as game playing, robotics, etc. And the agent interacts with the environment and explores it by itself. The primary goal of an agent in reinforcement learning is to improve the performance by getting the maximum positive rewards. So these are some of the idea. How this reinforcement is implemented? We are having three way of implementation. One is the value based, one is the policy based, one is the model based. The value based approach is about to find the optimal value function. So you use some functions to get that one. policy based approach is to find the optimal policy for the maximum future rewards. And this policy based is divided into two categories. One is the deterministics, one is the stochastics. In the deterministic, the same action is produced by the policy at any state. Stochastics, in this policy, probability determines the production actions. Then the model based. In the model based approach, a virtual model is created for the environment and the agent explores that environment to learn it. There is no particular solutions or algorithm for this approach because the model represents the different for each environment. Then two main different model based and model free, these are things we can see. Now let us come to the supervised learning, that is the regression. Linear regression is one of the most popular and simple machine learning algorithm that is used for predicting or predictive analysis. Here, predictive analysis defines predictions of something and a linear regression makes predictions for continuous numbers such as salary, age, etc. It shows the linear relationship between the dependent and the independent variables and shows how the dependent variable y changes according to the independent variable x. And it tries to best fit a line between the dependent and the independent variable, and this best fit is known as the regression line. So what you see it here, actually this is the independent variable, this is the dependent variable, and the data sets are plotted here and there. So they make the best fit, they convert to a line, so which we call the regressions. And it is represented by the equation y is equal to a0 plus ax plus b. Here a0 is the intercept, here you can see it here, and x is the independent variable, y the dependent variable, and here a is the slope, we take it, it's clear. Then this linear regression algorithm shows a linear relationship between the dependent in one axis and independent in the other axis, independent variables, hence called as linear regressions. Since linear regression shows the linear relationship, which means it finds how the value of the dependent variable is changing according to the value of the independent variables. This linear regression model provides a sloped straight line representing the relationship between the variables. So consider these things which already we explained there. So from this we can clearly understand. Then we come to the multiple linear regressions. Linear regressions is further divided into two types. One is the simple linear regressions, other is the multiple linear. The simple linear regressions we have seen, and here you are using the linear regression line. This is a linear line showing the relations between the dependent and independent, what you have seen. So it can be positive linear relationship if it is increasing, and it can be negative linear relationships if it is decreasing, here like this. Here I am putting minus a0 here, and here it is plus a0, right? Then finding the best fit, for that we use a cost function, okay? And here we are using the concept mean square error, and the remaining part we will cover in our next video. Till then, have a good day.